Whoops, I don't think she liked that very much. Hello, welcome to Tim Anderson Horse Training. Today we're working Sparrow. She is a 2-year-old BLM Mustang. Today will be the second time that we have ridden her. Her owner has been involved with her training, which I really like. That way the owner knows exactly everything that's been done with her horse. So you'll see him in the video assisting me with her. Now right now I saddled her up in the barn, and I've got this lunge line, and basically what I'm asking her to do, desensitize her to the lunge lines already, and now I'm just asking her to follow the pull from her face. The lunge line is clipped to the halter. I have a rope halter on underneath a smooth mouth loose ring snaffle. So I'm just tossing the lunge line over her back, and then I go around, flip it behind her back legs, and ask her to follow that pressure around. I give a little cluck here to follow around, and good. That's what I'm looking for. I want her to want to follow that pressure. I do the same thing both directions. There, I'll throw it back the other way, and I'm going to ask her to follow that pressure to her right. Back up a little bit, add a little pressure, smooch, and follow the pressure. Good. That is exactly what I'm looking for. This has been done several times with her. This will be the second time we've been on her back, but she has had a fair amount of groundwork. The owner did a good bit of groundwork with her before I got her, and then I worked her, preparing her to get on with the lunge lines, flexing her face that way. Now I'm trying to get her to move her feet, trying to stamp my foot a little. There we go. Now I smooched first, and she didn't move on the smooch, and so then I stomped my foot trying to get her to move on that. So now I'm going to attach both lunge lines. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach the lunge line through the ring snaffle but to the halter. So we're going to start ground driving here, or long lining, and I'm going to be actually pulling on the halter. That's where the line is attached to, but it goes through the ring on the snaffle bit. So she will feel a little bit of pressure on the snaffle bit, but most of it's going to come from the halter. I think this is a good way of a horse to learn to understand the bit, but you're limiting the pressure on their mouth so that you're not ruining the mouth. When she understands how to turn left, right, stop, back up, and understands that off the halter, then I'll switch the reins to working off of the bit. Now you see, watching me work, that's the owner, Jesse, and he's pretty experienced with horses. He's a pretty good hand. You'll see him help me later when we get on, and he's been helping me a lot with this horse, and I really like the way this has come together. So he knows everything that's been done with Sparrow, and if there is a situation during the rest of her 2-year-old year or coming into her 3-year-old year, he knows exactly everything that's been done with her. So this is really setting the horse and the owner up for success right here. So here I'm just long lining. I'm walking behind her, turning her head left and right, and right here I'm switching off so that giving Jesse a chance to do the same thing, so that he'll have some practice. And this takes a lot of practice. It takes a little bit of getting used to how to handle the lines, where to be. And if you think about when you're riding the horse and you use your inside rein to control the bend, and then give a little bit of bump with your outside leg to ask the horse to go forward. So that's what he was doing right there. He bent the horse one direction, jiggle the lunge line on the outside to ask the horse to go forward. That's going to be basically the same thing we're going to ask for when we get in the saddle. Bend the horse's head to one side and then tap with your calf to ask the horse to go forward. So here we're just going to turn left and right, stop, back up. We're teaching all of the cues here that we're going to want when we get in the saddle. This horse here, it doesn't have a whole lot of forward. It really wants to just kind of sull and bend around. You'll see how we're going to work on that here in just a minute. We've got to get some forward going in this horse. So you'll see what we do with that in a minute. But we want to add that forward, that speed in as she's ready and in a controlled way. So you'll see how we do that in just a minute. So now Jesse is mounted on Bob, a pony horse. He's got a lunge whip in his hand, and we're basically going to lunge Sparrow just as if we were on the ground. She didn't like that too much. She's going to get over that. Now, if you think about what you want your horse to do, and I'm talking about the 2-year-old, the baby, we want the horse to go forward when we ask, stop, turn left, turn right, back up. Now, this horse is just a 2-year-old, so the way I think about starting a horse, the horse's mental where it's at, mental development, that's what I'm looking for, where the horse is developmentally determines when you start the horse. This horse had gotten to the point where she was kind of picking fights with other horses, challenging other horses in the pasture, kind of pushing on the handler just a little bit. So this horse had reached a point where it was needing a job. Now, the horse is also only 2, and it's kind of small. So we don't physically want to push this horse too much. So that is why we're using a pony horse to start this. And this is going to keep the horse safe so that it doesn't work too hard, and it's going to keep the person that gets on safe. So you'll see how that comes together here in just a minute. So right now what we're doing is just as if you were lunging the horse on foot. You want to push the horse forward, and you want that horse to turn and look at you and say, okay, I would like to do something else. So the same thing, we're going to push her forward. You see that blue roan in the background, that is her pasture buddy. So she keeps going to that horse. So we push her past the horse or in a different direction. We want her to look to us for what to do. Now she started to settle down and started looking for what to do. So now what we're doing here, Jesse is going to ride up to her. I hate it's at the edge of the camera, but I don't have a camera operator. We're just sitting on the tripod. Now what he is doing right here, he's just petting on her. He is letting her know that she is his buddy. It's just as if you were lunging on foot. The horse did what you wanted to do. You walked over to it and you scratched on her. That's what we're doing right here. We're petting on her, we're scratching on her, letting her know that she is doing the right thing. And what this is going to do as we build through this is going to get the horse, which Sparrow I'm talking about, the 2-year-old, to look to the pony horse for leadership, what to do, safety, so that when I go to step up on Sparrow, she is going to look to him for what to do. And this is going to keep Sparrow safe so that we don't go bucking off. She is young, so we want to keep her calm and safe. And then we also want to keep me safe when I get on her here in just a minute. So what he's going to do is getting her turned around and get in position to pony. He'll be shortening up his pony rope here in just a minute. And what we're wanting to do is get her head kind of close to Jesse's leg, and basically just walk around and turn left and turn right and back up. There, she's not wanting to follow. You see here in just a minute where she goes ahead and gives in, and we want her to pretty much follow the pony horse wherever it goes without even really pulling on the lunge line, or on the lead line rather. So as he's walking around, now we actually ponied her around for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. You'll see here it's starting to get pretty nice. And we're challenging her a little bit. There's a little bit of a wet spot right there. And we want her to know that no matter where the pony horse goes, she has to go with him. So we just made her walk through that wet spot, and we'll steer around. And that's why I leave these those 55-gallon drums cut in half. That's actually where I feed my cows. But we leave them in there and kind of, you almost use them like cones and lead Sparrow around them and over them and through what was a wet spot. It's almost dry now. And I just get her so that she's looking to the pony horse for confidence and direction. And you'll see right there she's getting relaxed. I'm giving Jesse a little bit of instructions on how to handle Bob. Look at there, Bob turned to the left, and there's a little bit of pressure on the lead rope, but not too much. Now we're turning to the right. Sparrow turned to the right. That was good. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. I like the way this is coming together. Everybody looks relaxed. And so far, this is uneventful. Anytime you get on a 2-year-old and it's uneventful, it was a good day. So I'm going to get on her using a mountain block for a couple of reasons. For one, I'm not as young as I used to be, so it's kind of hard on my knees to get on without a mountain block. And for two, she's young, she's a little bit small, and she's not going to know how to carry my weight very good. She's still learning that. So by using a mountain block, that helps me get on her without pulling her off balance and lets her hold my weight up a little bit better. Now I just stood up on the mountain block, swung my leg over, sat down, and petted on her. This is the second time this horse has ever had a rider on her back, which looks pretty successful so far. I like how this is coming together. So I just sat there, petted on her a minute, and what I'll do is I'll step on and off a few times, and then eventually we'll ask her to step off. Now this is the second time we've worked her, so I have been on her back. But here, when we ask her to walk off, this will be the first time we've asked her to walk off with a rider on her back. So you saw there when he went to walk off, he had to pull on her just a little bit. So what we're wanting here is to her to kind of soften up and go ahead and walk off a little bit softer so we don't have to pull quite so hard. So basically, I stepped up, I stepped down, we walked off. It was uneventful, and Sparrow learned that that was no big deal. That's what we're after. We want her to understand that it's no big deal and everything's going to be okay. Now we're going to go around. I'll step up there again. Bring my step over. Now I do have reins attached just in case that I do get loose from the pony horse, which I hope don't happen. But that way, if I do get loose, I do have something. Hopefully I'll be able to one rein stop her into a circle. But that's just a safety measure. That's not really what we want to have happen. I'll set it, get up there, sit a minute. Just kind of move around. I want to make sure she understands that I'm up there and it's okay. And she's still really relaxed. This is exactly what I want to see. Pat on her a little bit. And she's holding the weight up good. You see she does have all 4 feet on the ground. As far as flat, she's not resting a leg. I took my foot out of the stirrup. Now I'm just going to step right back down. And Jesse's going to walk her off forward. Got to pull just a little bit and walk off forward. That's what I'm looking for to get better, is for her to walk off. She's learning how to hold the weight up, but she doesn't know yet that she can walk and hold the weight up. So that will happen soon. In fact, it happens at the end of this video. And we want her to walk off and everything stay laid back and quiet and uneventful. So So he just walks her in a circle, and then we're going to come back. We're going to do it again. I get my mountain block, move it back over. Now it's kind of hard to see in this picture. I'll reposition a little bit. We don't want the horses exactly pointed the same direction. We want, let's say, we want Sparrow's head close to Jesse's knee, but we want Sparrow's hip kind of pushed away just a little bit. So what that's going to do is she's looking forward, but she's kind of looking at Bob. That's the pony horse. She's kind of looking at Bob's head. And that gives her a chance to look at Bob and kind of ask, what am I supposed to do? Because Bob, right here, Bob is her leader. That was nice right there. Jesse steered off to the left, and Sparrow just come on around and didn't really pull. This is exactly how it's supposed to work. I'll go around and step up there again. Now you notice that nobody's getting in any hurry. Everything is soft. Everything's easy going. We're not giving any of these horses any reason to worry about anything. That's a big deal. Everybody's energy is down. Mine and Jesse's energy is down. Our pony horse Bob, his energy is down, and that helps keep Sparrow's energy down. Now back up there again. She's learning to how to hold herself and balance herself with me stepping up there. It has gotten much better in these few times that I stepped up right here. It's hard to see in the video, but stepping up, I can really feel her different. I can feel her prepare for me to step up in the saddle, which tells me that it's time to go ahead and move on and walk forward. Now basically what we're going to do, we want Bob to kind of step forward and to the left a little bit. There we go. And Sparrow walked forward. Took a couple steps. Now we're just going to sit there and pet on her. You can kind of see there how the horse's hips are a little further apart and then their heads are closer together. That's what we want right there. That's the position we're looking for. Now we step forward. And Sparrow walked forward. Had to pull just a little bit there, but not too much. Let's watch this next one. There's one coming up that's really nice, and then we quit after that. And we're just asking for a couple of steps and then stop. That's really all we want right now. And to pull just a little bit there. And then we stop. And see what happens right here with the pony horse giving Sparrow some confidence. There, barely pulled on the lead rope. That was just right. So if I was getting on Sparrow and we did not have this pony horse and she went to walk forward, there is nothing would be nothing to stop that except for me picking up on the lead rope and pulling it. And that is just a recipe for a problem there, because then I pick up on the rope, it scares her, and it's going to go downhill from there. So by using this pony horse to do this, there, that was a nice walk off there. She's looking for him for direction, and then it also keeps her, there's another one right there. It also keeps her under control, it keeps it relaxed. There we go. Good girl. Now I'm going to step down. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the lead rope from Jesse. And Sparrow did very good. I'm really pleased with how she did. She's very relaxed, easy going. And I'm going to reward her here by unsaddling her right here, just as soon as we got done, so that she understands that this is what we want and that she gets a very obvious reward. So I hope you found this video interesting and educational, and hope this shows you how a young small horse can be started in a safe way for both the horse and the rider. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below in the comment section, and I'll have more videos about Sparrow coming up and what all we do with her. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed, I want to thank you for subscribing. And please click the thumbs up button. That helps so that other YouTube viewers see the video. So that's it for Sparrow for today. Until next time, thank you for watching.